embers now. Breathe life into this hollow vessel of rebirth. Over and over beaten night, the peaceful earth, to light the fire's fall. Ignite the fire's fall, sisters of solace singing. Ignite the fire's fall, the morning bells are ringing. And deep in the crumbling walls, the souls of the cursed will fall. Though kingdoms will fade, decay, the ghosts of the past shall stay locked away. Ignite the fire's fall, sisters of solace singing. Ignite the fire's fall. Ocean, we tear along the gales, with rum inside our bellies, warm and freedom in our sails. A wayward bunch of scoundrels, assassins, thieves and slaves. The rich and blue bloods fear us when we hunt upon the waves. And when you see it coming, that flag of baleful black, no point in turning tail, there's no escaping our attack. Yo ho, yo ho, we roll beneath the black flag, a rollicking we go, we own the sea and sky. Yo ho, we roll beneath the black flag, a rollicking we go, we bleed the kingdoms dry. Defy the odds against us, a pirate knows no fear. Our steel is ready and our retribution is severe. We plunder from the greedy, with blood and with our steel. We rob the rich of their ill-gotten gain to make them kneel. Behold the ocean's mysteries, the tales of ancient deeds. We follow in the footsteps of a silent secret creed. Yo ho, we roll beneath the black flag, a rollicking we go, we own the sea and sky. Yo ho, we roll beneath the black flag, a rollicking we go, we bleed the kingdoms dry. Hoist the black flag, lads. Justice runs in crimson river. Yo ho, we roll beneath the black flag, a rollicking we go, we own the sea and sky. Yo ho, we roll beneath the black flag, a rollicking we go, we own the sea and sky. Yo ho, we roll beneath the black flag, a rollicking
I should turn on my microphone. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I have using my microphone mic for Discord and the regular microphone for streaming, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But we're live, and I'm just moving my face cam around a bit so people can actually see gameplay. Because that's why people are here, aren't they? Can people hear you? Hear it! Can you hear Busty? Okay. Huh. Oh, yeah. Hold on. That should be much better. Can you talk now?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. I haven't streamed for a long time, so... Okay, so,
Game saved.
I need to go through this expedition now, the Fugitive. So now everything works. That is good. And thanks everybody for all the follows. And I think, yeah, we can pretty much start doing the things we wanted to do. Which is pretty much playing the game. So this is my save game. I just sent out a zoological expedition. Well, I'm always popular, that I know. And these guys are looking for a fight. I have lots of people to fight with.
I've given up my pipe. Don't want a dead man's chest. Worth eating biscuit for.
Nice. I got a shipper, which I already have. And, well, honestly, he's better than the blind man. Because who needs a pure crafter? Woo! Oh, you followed me. I left the voice chat? I left the voice chat. Why did I leave voice chat?
I don't know.
Okay, so yeah.
So here's the deal. As my internet is completely fudged right now, I would say, hi Roma, it's good to see you, dude. I would say we stream now just here. I answer community questions, and tomorrow I try to run another stream from the studio.
Yeah, sounds good. We have a bit of better hardware there.
It's just the internet, like the rest is fine.
Just
I have a 400 Mbit connection here at home, but the speed test says I get 100 down and 1 up.
Yeah, I had something similar when I was still living in Ireland, where connection was supposed to go up to 5, and it never did. And when I called the company about that, they were like, well, you never promised that.
Roma, we are super excited for the beta. Like for us, seeing for the last couple of days people streaming and that the game runs well and the people enjoy the game is super exciting. I mean, we work now for a couple of years on the game, and to just all of a sudden having that game a little bit like out of the open and this close beta is great.
Finally, ship arrived. So I actually had a really funny bug earlier, where I sent the ship to the new world, and when it arrived there, it vanished. Thankfully, it was just a clipper. But this is one of the bugs that we would like to report.
Maybe you just lost it.
Maybe. So, wow, this is actually the first time I start settling in earnest in the new world, so the in-game sound a little bit quieter, of course. Something I want people to tell me is if the sound is alright. And here I actually know the hardware, so it's not like in the Newcastle streaming room.
By the way, that you're playing on the close beta client and not our dev build.
I don't even have access to the dev build outside of our internet.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'd love to be able to play that, to be honest. But security. And that's pretty good. I like...
So guys, if you have any questions to me or Chris, shoot.
Yeah, Eroed wants to know how we are doing.
Good. I'm a bit, let's say the last couple of days and weeks, something especially Chris can tell, were kind of a bit stressful.
Just yeah, it's I'm practically rotating. Like right now, in the Castle office, aside from Anno, I'm also dealing with a few other games, and it's amazing. By the way, thank you everybody for the follows. That goes to Hexagon, Bittewenden, Volty, of course, Nitram, Roma, and Rusko. Thank you very much. I don't think I will be able to make that quest. The quest timer is at 8 minutes. My clipper is full. Jean Lafortune's island is so good looking. Endlich ein Profi. I wish I wish I could nap in the office. Irid is saying you didn't take your daily office nap. God, I can't even think about it.
Deep down, I know you're a tattletale.
By the way, Roma, you had the chance to play during the technical test or not?
You are sure you weren't followed?
You're gonna play the closed beta over the weekend?
Sure. Really good.
Untold perils await us.
Roma, the closed beta starts tomorrow.
Fight if we must.
Yep. Tomorrow at 7 a.m. GMT.
Tavern Troubles. How far are you in the game? Like, I maybe should check, like, what's your number?
I'm pretty much at the start of Artisans. I got them goulash by now, and right now my goal is to settle the world. So, pretty much a good place to hop into streaming wise. Also my I'm turning now. Not looking. The NDA allows it. You can stream this, and if you stream is if you stream it, let us know on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Anyway, I'll read that text now because
What's on land is for landfall.
These hoodlums are asking for it. To each harbor its own ill-famed tavern, and this one is no exception. While your crew enjoys a beer at the counter, the tavern's door slams open, the bartender stiffens, and the volume of conversations dwindles. The newcomers are regulars of the bad. One of the scruffy men elbows your doctor and gasps as the alcohol splashes on his unkempt clothes. Immediately grabs your sailor by the collar and demands an apology. Are we fighting then? Or do we try to be diplomatic? Offer them a drink or fight them?
We have this. I mean, we can't go straight for the success chance or what sounds cooler.
I want to fight them. Fights are cool. I mean, I have a really good admiral here as well, and I think he's the fighting type.
Where did you get all the cool specialists from?
There was a quest where it was to destroy a ship of the line.
By the waves.
and I kinda took my flagship, a few of the small gunboats, and another frigate, and just danced around it, and its broadsides just couldn't come to bear towards me. So let's fight them. Your crew crushes them. Hi, Alpha.
Hi, Alpha.
The collar-grabbed doctor slaps away the hand of the hoodlum, seizes his sleeve and pulls him over his shoulder, sending him crashing into a table. With a roar, the other thugs pounds on your assailants. You meet them with jabs to the chin and sternum, downing the attackers with no more than 2 hits per man. Ah, God, my crew is awesome. The seconds for the pleasure of good fighting. The tavern applauds the action, and the bartender offers a round to celebrate a well-deserved meeting. Nice.
I love how much Chris is into it.
Well, this is how you read the story about fighting. Yeah, but I think my crew definitely deserves that schnapps.
Like, the most exciting thing about the development, it's really tough to answer. To be honest, like, for me, it's an Anno Union thing. Like, coming into the game development so early, and then seeing that in the very early pre-alpha we decide to invite players, work with them together, and having that like really transparent development idea, and being super open and honest about a lot of things. That is, I think, something really special in the industry in general. And for me, also, like, the project to work on was extremely satisfying so far.
Found my other boat again. Die 3, die man einladen kann man auch einzeln einladen. Also, der Prompt klingt ein bisschen final, aber du kannst im Grunde genommen viele, also einladen. Du kannst einen einladen, die anderen 2 später, oder 2 einladen und den letzten dann später. Oh, new special visitor at my harbor and my home. Okay, I figured out why I can't yet build a trading post here. I lack the influence points. So I need a few more people. On the plus side, also my WhatsApp, I think, stream birthday.
About the soundtrack, by the way, so side fact, that is was recorded by a real UJS orchestra. We are doing a big video dev blog on that topic. It will take a little bit because, like, we are going all in, like, making like a proper dev diary kind of video blog regarding the soundtrack recordings, but this gonna be cool.
Lots of people ask about the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack blog.
We have also another really cool announcement to make about the soundtrack pretty soon.
Good enough. Oh, that's a question for you.
Yeah, so, like, the most difficult announcement was for me personally, because it was the most emotional one, was land combat announcement. So not the initial one when we had the first block, but when we sit down with all the feedback, we started over a couple of, I think it was the duration of roughly 2 to 3 months, I'm not sure anymore. Like, starting to play around with ideas, working on prototypes, seeing how could that be possible, what kind of, like, impact would it have on the development, on the game, do we find a good system which is, like, satisfying for everyone, and quality-wise what we expect from land combat. Then at the end realizing there would be a possibility of making a land combat system which would not meet our own, like, quality expectations of the game, and also would cost us so much development time that we're saying, okay, we have to go out now, like, this makes no sense, and here's the reason why we're not doing it. And then, like, seeing the reaction of the people, because we knew that the diehard land combat fans would not like that announcement, whatever we say, but we try to be as transparent as possible with that. But yeah, when people often say, Oh, you have not even tried or whatever. We actually worked on several prototypes, a lot of like design ideas with the team, how we could make it.
You're tired enough. Never.
Gonna rename all my scenes.
So, like, we're getting a lot of comments about the influence points because some streamers mentioned that they think that the ratio of how much influence points you spend compared to how much you get is out of balance. And, like, to be honest, I cannot say now because the closed beta is about to start tomorrow. But on that matter, we hope that we get a lot of feedback from you guys. And when we get a lot of feedback during the closed beta, we will sit down and go through the feedback and check. I mean, we said this beta, aka the delayed launch, is for balancing and polishing. So we will definitely look into matters like this if we get good feedback. There's also one thing you have to consider and keep in mind. Even though Tier 3 allows you to do a lot of stuff, it is not 100% of the endgame experience, as there are 2 tiers and several features missing, so it's really hard to measure the full amount of the gameplay scope. But I have the feeling that we will look into that influence point matter.
As with everything in this regard, leave the feedback on the closed beta forum, because then we can actually see how many people respond to it and what other people's thoughts are. Like, I think that's the most important thing. That we need that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And during the beta, like every single day, we have usually a long meeting in the evening where we talk about all the feedback and all the stuff that people say.
Yep. And there are so many reports.
Okay, do your thing.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing.
Play your
Teeth of the Mountain.
game.
These tracks could belong to man-eaters. The crew's reconnaissance reports carried intriguing rumors of local threats, abducted men and women, quarries filled with human bones, and a mountain chain too impenetrable to be devoid of valuable finds. Almost as soon as your explorers start their ascension, they spot fresh tracks in the dry leaves. Follow them, or do we avoid the tracks? I mean,
So sad. When
Chat,
good friends
what do you
drift
think?
apart.
Follow them or avoid the tracks? To follow. You guys want to kill my crew, do you? Well, the chances for following are terrible. I mean, it's always a roll of the die, so. So 2 follow, 1 avoid, 2 avoid. No risk, no fun.
I mean, we're not having many options, so.
Yeah. But I don't have a tiebreaker.
My upload speed is back. Seriously,
in hard
Multimedia?
wind.
My download speed is even lower now.
Once your longboat goes in
70. My upload speed is 20 now. Well.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the way the exploration mechanic works is that even with a 0% chance you win, right? I mean, that sounds like something cool.
None of that pity, just the laying down of arms.
Ah.
Arr!
I'm not gonna comment on this.
Yeah.
Frisco.
Yeah, I'd rather not. Okay. Honestly, I'd rather follow the tracks.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The path escapes the explorers, who find themselves surrounded. The crew's untrained eyes cannot catch the details which indicate the danger.
There's little left to fear once your
Cannot catch the
uncle
details
goes
which
in
indicate
over
the
there.
danger does not lie ahead. That sounds like a writing error. I'll make a screenshot.
Screenshot taken.
But rather behind them. When they finally sense the hostile presence, they turn to discover a vision way beyond their expectations. Instead of savages with pierced skin and belts of human bones, they discover white men and women, their eyes blue and clothes civilized. Okay, so, isn't too bad now as a reaction? I mean, we can now be diplomatic, or we can just fight them.
Wow.
Wow.
They won't fight.
Fight.
Fight them.
Apologize. Yeah, let's fight.
Look what blew up
Where
the
discretion
blowhole.
fails, force prevails. Your crew is unfazed by the villagers and springs into action, launching a sudden and precise attack to knock them down,
What's on
before
land
drowning
is
their
for
resistance
folk.
under
What's at
prolonged
sea
assault.
is my business.
Your explorers step over the corpses to peruse the now deserted village,
Game
where they
saved.
find strings of human bones hung between houses, clicking gently in the breeze. They have eradicated the terrible menace and found the drill.
Let me check the item. What is the drill about? So
It's the drill.
production
It's
plus
for
25?
the. I have one already. It's for the trade union. Affects quarries, so you can
It's
use
really
that.
good.
You can use that for your clay production, for example. I have so much clay right now. It's crazy, and oil wells as well. So I'm too bad I can't get. Well, it's close to beat up.
So really about your question
people are right.
regarding the most surprising feedback. That's actually not easy to answer. We had a few ones where we were surprised. As an example, how crazy people were about the blueprint mode. It was a really easy one. So we expected that people like it, but we had even in the past, like a year ago, discussion in the community about the blueprint mode or the idea of a blueprint mode, even if you never mentioned that it will have one. And there was a lot of controversy around it. Like a lot of the old school Anno fans said, no, we don't need this in the game, we don't want this, etc. And then when we announced the blueprint mode, which was for us more a smaller thing, people went completely crazy, and there was surprisingly no controversy whatsoever. So everyone was super happy with that, and that surprised us. But I would say one of the good things about the Anno Union was that for many things we were not actually surprised, but we got quite confident about some decisions, and even were in the situation where we were maybe unsure about the decision we wanted to make, and then the Anno Union helped us to see and realize, oh, we're on the right way. Was there something, Chris? Was there something really surprising? We were a bit surprised about the influence system. So we knew that a lot of people don't like the idea that they basically get kept in something.
Yeah.
But we were surprised how much up in arms people were about that. Surprised in a positive way. The blueprint mode. Yes,
Yep.
so the only thing which comes directly to my mind is the blueprint mode.
Yeah. I remember when when I started working with Anno last year, I was kind of pitching the idea to the community without yet knowing that it would be a thing in the game. And I remember that a lot of people were like, this is not something that fits Anno, it makes the game too easy. But in these discussions, there was also talking about saving and loading templates with that. So there was that as well. Also, so I fully understand why people might not have liked it at first, but when we then have shown the blueprint mode like it is, and you can see how I pretty much built everything in blueprint mode, first, and then I actually finish it building. So for me, it's a fantastic addition to the game. I really love it.
Regret not thinking of.
There is so many potential tweets and messages we could have sent out over social media where I sometimes think to myself, oh god, I could have... Like, if some particular hashtag was trending...
Attention for the Admiral.
Hey, Tiago.
Hey, Tiago!
So, with development is really hard because it is in the nature of development, especially if you do this kind of community-driven development, that there are changes all the time, and you think, okay, we could have like done something earlier or whatever. But there's usually not a point where you say like, oh, we messed this thing up, or we missed this opportunity. Like, I wouldn't say so. I mean, of course, with the Anno Union, there was a test for us. So when I started working on the Anno Union, I even said to the team, this is the first time we are doing this, and we have no idea if that will
take off.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
So we need to have this commitment to the idea, because otherwise it will fail. But there's no guaranteed success or that this is going to work out. And luckily, we are super happy with the Anno Union and the results, and how much it helped to achieve that level of quality you can see right now. But yeah, a real regret, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, like for me, it's mostly like small stuff where I thought, god damn it, we could have done some more fun stuff.
Ship constructed.
Yeah, that was like biggest thing for me is
I'll admit, your people are
having
willing
fun.
to fight.
Like, it's why we started. Yeah.
You do what you have to protect your own.
My really personal favorite feature, so it is in fact expeditions for one reason. So, okay, I'm a role player myself, and I in fact played back in the days a lot of the choose your own adventure books. By the way, try Bandersnatch on Netflix. That's completely weird.
Manta rays! I'm so happy.
You have a manta ray.
Ah, perfect. I even got 2. And a parrot, but... Sorry. Go on.
The good thing about the... No worries. The good thing about the expeditions for me, or what makes it so brilliant, is I love Anno, but there was one thing Anno was always lacking for me. Like the idea of storytelling, of allowing me to sink my teeth into a world and be part of that world, and have real stories going on. You had always a campaign. Of course, you had the Jorgensens and NPCs with a certain character. But the expedition is a great tool because it actually allows the player to sink deeper into that idea of the 19th century. And for me, I think I would love to see... because I think that would really elevate the series.
You kind of broke up at the I'd love to see you part.
So in short, expeditions, because it allows us to tell stories in a world.
Yeah, I agree. The expeditions are fantastic.
How many expeditions are included? So there's one thing for understanding. The expedition is actually the type. So there are not that many types, in the sense of you have zoological, not agricultural. I'm missing a word here, Chris.
Farming. No. Hold on. I was just.
I'm even missing the German words of archaeological expeditions.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word.
Bounty hunts. Then you have some special expeditions, like the exploration of the New World, like South America. But expedition events, which is the actual stuff which is going on then, where you have to click through, etc., are over 50.
Yeah.
And then every single event has like different turnarounds and how it can go out, positive, negative, or in which direction it can go. So it's actually a lot.
Yeah, like you have to consider that anytime you have a decision to make in an expedition, You can have, with at least 2 choices, mind you, you have 4 possible outcomes, depending on the choice you make. And then if the choice fails or succeeds. So there is a ton to do there. Okay,
Nice
why
day
are
for
you
it.
still missing heals? I just plopped down. My farmers are being
we
weird.
want to make sure that with the expeditions you don't have this feeling of repetition, because we knew from the get-go if that would get too repetitive, players would get annoyed by that. No, I don't think Chris and neither am I put in any Easter egg into the game.
Yeah, I'd love to have portrait or something like that in the game, but yeah. Then again, I get to do some cool stuff with the community, so
For me, having something like the Anno Union Island is an Easter egg.
yeah.
In a way,
I like finding it. I think it's even on my map, but I didn't get it because that dastardly Willy took it away. No, that's not the island. Can't find it. Usually actually, haha, no, I settled it. There we go.
Game
Oh,
saved.
perfect.
I always try to find it because it's really shape-wise, it's my favorite island. The only thing I don't like on this particular map is that this big ass harbor area is turning south into the direction of Anna's Ant's little cove here,
Better hope
which
to
I'm
hold
not
the road
too
with a
fond of.
rapier.
So I had to settle my main port over here, which is a comparatively small area. If the new update breaks the game for you, because that happened to me as well, verify the new play. Then you should. Okay.
Oh, Irid, you're coming with all the tough questions.
Include Volty as a playable NPC.
Something you would ignore. In what sense? Just a game feature where we would say in the next game we would just completely skip it, or ignore feedback from the community. We never actively ignore feedback from the community. That is one thing. Actually, I don't know if you can see the blueprints. I don't think so.
Honestly, I primarily play Anno games single player, so this is something that perhaps John, because he has a huge, I wanted to say friend zone, but that's not the right word. He knows a lot of people who are strategy gamers by their heart, so he's definitely checking the game out as a player.
So, I don't think that there's a single feature in the game right now where we say, okay, that's actually redundant, or that feature is something no one needs. There are either features we really love, where we think that is super, super important for the actual gameplay experience, while there are also features where we know that they're actually not played by many players. Let's say multiplayer as an example. Multiplayer is actually a thing where we know from every game which had multiplayer that only 10% are playing it. And from that 10%, there's even a smaller percentage of people playing a second multiplayer match. So that 10% mostly refers to a lot of people who try multiplayer once.
What a wonderful display
And
of
even
different
smaller number who
species,
try it more
all
often.
living in harmony.
So, in that sense, there are a lot of features we think is super important for the core gameplay loop of the game and really enrich the core gameplay. While there are also features where we know, let's say, even if that might appear not that important, like multiplayer, we know that there are some players for them is that just a super, super important thing. English word for ornament is ornaments.
That was very interesting. I just demolished my domestic cat exhibit by accident. And yes, my zoo has domestic cats.
But we can say by numbers, like to be super open here, it's roughly 10%. And as I said, of that 10%, even less who play multiplayer more than once. And there are other features we know as an example from numbers, also with land combat. We know from games which had land combat that that was a feature not many people actually used. Like even when people say like I'm a die-hard fan of land combat in 1404, actually we know that there are not many people actually using that feature. So we can tell by metrics like how often have they engaged in actual combat with enemies, how many military units they've built, how many military units they've destroyed, etc. So we get a lot of very detailed metrics about that, even from games like 1404. And there's also something we know, this like a die-hard feature, which is important for some players a lot. Like they love that feature and they want to see that in the game. And funny enough, something like multiplayer as an example, is actually a core feature. So a core feature means that is not that easy to develop and takes a lot of time in development. So there are some features, let's say Blueprint, which doesn't take too much time to develop. So it's like a smaller feature. But something like multiplayer, land combat, etc. are actual core features which take milestones over milestones to develop. So weeks over months of development time. For myself, I'm a big fan of the naval combat in 1800. I was never like too much of a combat player in Anno games before, but I think with the addition and how we expanded on the naval combat, that is something which I really enjoy. And to be honest, I can't wait to try that one in multiplayer. So we plan a format which is Beat the Devs, where we challenge players to join multiplayer matches with developers and then see if they can beat us. And I think that is a nice, interesting new twist. But the thing is, one thing which people haven't realized about the naval combat yet is that you can do a lot of cool stuff if you're good in micromanaging. So if you're like a classic RTS player and you're really good in micromanaging the movement of your units, you can do crazy stuff with the ships.
Speaking of crazy stuff, the way I'm building this pig farm here is absolutely horrendous and crazy. I'm so sorry for everybody who's building for efficiency. I swear I am actually just terrible. And I'm not trying to...
I can see that.
Yeah. Well, at least it looks interesting visually.
Yeah, interesting is a nice word.
Yeah.
I would also call that interesting.
That sounds... I love the ships of the line, that's why I have two. And they're absolutely gorgeous. And I even renamed the first one that I built Prince Eugen. So there's a bit of a story behind that before people are like, why are you naming your ship after a German World War II heavy cruiser? I actually don't. So a few people who know me know I grew up around at the Danube River. And the Donaudampfschifffahrtsgesellschaft, or DDSG in short, yes, that's actually a thing that exists. This is not just a long word we use to make fun of English people.
Flagship ready for orders.
Has a ship called the Prince Eugen, named after Prince Eugen of Savoy. And this ship basically crossed my front porch, so to say, daily. So hence why I tend to name my ships that way.
New orders?
Let me do that second one as well.
Aye.
So the funniest thing is, you know, I get this amazing rare captain, right? And her name is Wilma von Tegethoff. And Tegethoff is an Austrian admiral, so...
Attention for the Admiral.
I'm having a lot of very weird fun here. My favorite animal in the game. Oh god. Wolves.
So you're sailing for the Count car?
Well, let me dream. No, I'm actually. But yeah, my favorite animal so far to put in is honestly, there is so many amazing animals. I haven't yet gotten a wolf in this save game, but in my very first zoo that I built during the TTS, I have gotten wolves. And they were cool and amazing because of course they're however, I love manta rays. That's why I kind of flipped out earlier when I got them. I also like that the fennec foxes are in the game, but I'm really sad that they're in the enclosures, so in houses, where you can't see them. Dolphins are great. Orcas are greater. So yeah, I think that's a good summary of games of animals that I like. Basti's favorite animal in the game is the pink dolphin, of course.
No, I hate dolphins. No, hate is a strong word. I just think dolphins are malevolent and despicable animals. My favorite is the fennec, which has not even its own
We all like a nap in the orchard.
open air habitat.
Yeah, it's a shame.
No, I think like I don't have a real favorite animal so far. Maybe I should think about that.
So, you know, I have to ask you now, that's basically you coming down with your own persona, right? I'm sorry, I have to...
Wombat. I don't think that there is a wombat in the game.
Yeah, I want to put ornaments here. It's just, you know, you gotta decide which one. I'm gonna build parks. I like parks.
The fire station cannot burn down.
That fish pie smells gurtless.
So in the office we have actually like English as a business language. So in meetings, like there's rarely the case that only Germans are in a meeting. So as an example, our lead game designer Jan is from the Czech Republic. We have Marie and Natasha, both French. We have our game writer who is British. So we have another game writer and she's from Spain. So there's actually a lot of people not from Germany. One of our game designers, Irvin, is from the Netherlands. Yes, you can reach the second tier in the new one.
Oh no.
Is stuff like blacklist of not so nice words really necessary today in games?
Yes.
As someone who worked for many, many years on one of the world's biggest shooter franchises, I say yes.
As somebody who worked on who actually had to work with one of the biggest sports game franchises, hell yes.
Oh my god.
I
I know
survived.
what you're referring to.
I survived. I still have the scar. Sometimes Oliver sees me weeping.
That fish pie smells gurtless.
Yeah, like I do think that it's a good idea to clearly make it make it clear to people what kind of you want to have in the game. And you can the implementation can be discussed.
What did I say a while ago? Blueprint. Everyone does Blueprint now. But for us, it was this kind of like, yeah, it's a really cool, neat feature, but that's it.
Yeah. I'm really surprised. I hadn't had a chance to look today into the reception for the newspaper, though we already kind of had have it shown around last week. So I'm really curious what people think about the newspaper. To be honest, Lady creates kick-ass cities, and also I need to plop down more farmers. I said this already today to a few people who were streaming, and you notice when they either haven't played an Anno game in a long time, or when they are completely new to the series, that they don't build their places like this very clear lines with 10 buildings in each square kind of thing that I'm doing, or generally it's less squares and it looks more natural, more like something that people would have actually built. And it's annoying because I'm very German in this, even though I'm not German, that I'm going like, I have to build efficient. Has to be efficient.
So, what the big competitors are question, is it about like competitors on the market, like other strategy games, or what are you referring to? Oh, you mean the basically the scenario.
A bold new
So I know that the 19th century was an idea a lot of people in the team wanted to do for a long time, and we got also asked to do that setting from our players for years now. So I think when they decided to pitch the 19th century as a next Anno game, there was team. So then you immediately, okay, we want to do 19th century. Of course, there are other settings which might be interesting for us. So like if you ask the devs in the studio, and when we are sometimes talking about that stuff at lunch, etc. But don't take this as an idea what the next Anno game will be. But there are certain scenarios where we think, okay, that could be cool. Like we had crazy ideas like Viking Age, the Antique, etc. The problem is if you go back to scenarios which are maybe like in an antique setting or even earlier, you realize that a lot of the core elements of the Anno game are not like properly working anymore. Like this kind of macro managing a huge metropolis with production chains. It's actually not that easy. You can technically do that in an antique setting though.
I saw somebody pitch Greece at some point, and I kind of liked it.
No, I'm a big fan of the old Caesar games, etc.
Yeah.
Latest possible date or not? Cross-sum? When it comes to cross-sum, there is a lot of stuff possible. But the thing is, for us, this is an interesting old running gag. And we try to stick to that cross-sum 9 thing as much as we can. But if we would come up with an idea where we say this is a setting or an idea for an Anno game which we really want like to do, we would possibly ditch even that cross-sum 9 thing. So we're not saying like we are completely bound to that idea with the cross-sum 9 at the end. A cool setting and a cool Anno scenario is more important than this running gag, even if it is like beloved by many fans and even by us. Yeah, in an antique setting you would need to have land combat. Steampunk Anno, I don't think that we will go in any near future in a fantasy scenario. But to be honest, I would love to see steampunk or Cthulhu-esque additions to Anno 1800, but that's never gonna happen.
I remember, like, way back in the day, the early age of me playing video games. There was an RTS that was entirely ship-based, and it was up in the Greek islands, so you had a lot of galleons, like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Oh, and for the love of me,
What game was it?
I don't remember the name. I only know you built buildings on islands, and you had troops on your ships, and you could do boarding fights, and you could ram other ships, and it was really cool. I just don't remember the name, and it's driving me nuts.
Seriously, no idea.
It's driving me nuts. It's seriously driving me mental. Because I always remember like old games that I played when I was a kid. Like a recent example, because I saw it on a YouTube channel, Lazy Game Reviews, was Corridor 7, which is one really old school Doom-like shooter that I played with my brother as a demo. And like, I know this game still, but this one RTS with ships, I can't remember it. I can't remember the name. I can't even find it. And I've tried. But yeah, you know what I want to see? Anno 50 before Christ.
Why 50?
Well, here's the story that this Anno game will have. Lore-wise speaking, you're the leader of a small Gallic village in the Britannia, or an fantastical equivalent, because we are very soft on the history. And you settle a new island to fight an encroaching Mediterranean empire.
That sounds like a terrible idea for an Anno game.
No, this is fantastic.
That sounds like a good idea for a Settlers game.
Absolutely, but let me have my dreams for Asterix. I just want an Asterix game that's not a fighting game, okay?
Oh.
And yeah, Tiago, that fisherman needed a road. Yeah, mostly joke.
I think, to be honest, the only way we're going in here for a real Anno in space, so we colonize a lot of like different planets and stuff like this. It might be an option, but
Love that.
for now I can say that we will spend a lot of energy on post-launch. Hopefully, cross fingers that the game is successful, of course. Because I like to work on Anno 1800 for at least one, I hope, 2 or more years.
Mountains moving.
The hell is going on? Something's dying.
What is going on in your city?
Please don't
You have a
leave your
sickness or
trait
something?
unattended, sir.
Not to my knowledge. I can't have a sickness yet because the hospital is still not unlocked. That was weird. Let's check it down to some weirdness. The weirdness was, but yeah.
What will you need to do after the launch? Fixing bugs. So the thing is, if the game is successful, so cross fingers, we would love to expand the game, like maybe doing proper gameplay expansions, maybe doing like a real add-on and stuff like this. But this is not something I can talk about much yet. But I think, given the history of the series with add-ons, etc., that you guys can expect that if the game is successful for us,
Like
we
a
would love
frog
to
on a lily
expand the
pad,
game
I
even
is.
further in the upcoming years with some sort of content. You mean with education system like actually telling or educating people a little bit like back in the days when with the Civpedia, or like we did with the Assassin's Creed Odyssey experience, the Origins experience, sorry.
Yeah, the Discovery Tour was.
Or just gameplay.
Push-ups.
I mean, you've seen with Origins that there are great things you can do.
Don't even mind the name.
I think as an example that Anno itself tells a lot of stuff, how important things to people, and even to younger people. Like as an example, my father-in-law, he was history teacher, and he is super interested into Anno, and he thinks that like stuff like the workforce system and that people can go on strike, etc., is a really cool thing. The things with the educational feature, you need to be really careful, because when you create gameplay or elements which dive heavily into that, then you need to make sure that everything you do is 100% accurate. So at this point, you basically become a teacher, and you have a responsibility that everything you tell with that game, as an example, when you want to tell real history and how it was, etc., is complete, that you don't miss out on important things. That kind of responsibility for a game, to be honest, is kind of rough, because then you get maybe like even into situations where say, okay, we need to tackle things in gameplay features which might not be funny or good or make sense gameplay wise, etc.
Falcon ready.
So, a quick example. What was the thing in 19th century was one thing, child labor. But that is something we don't think that it makes sense in the gameplay perspective, because from the eyes of the 19th century, in a economy simulation, how can I say it other than it sounds weird, but there would be a lot of like economic benefits. We don't want to like bring players in a situation that they say, yeah, I totally run child labor as an example because it's really good for my city and makes sense and helps my production. If you have games like, let's say, Frostpunk, where you have to make a lot of hard decisions, there's a very limited scenario nailed down on this one point. So it allows them to create a lot of like A/B scenarios where you realize, okay, like I'm in this situation where I have to decide something and I might feel bad about it, etc. But in a game with the scope of Anno, having, let's say, child labor in the game would be really, really rough, because we want to give players the actual choice to decide to play however they like. And you would need to balance it in a way that the upsides and downsides, and maybe that is a topic where we don't want to give like players the impression that it's actually good to do this. I mean, we have topics we tackle in that regard, like, let's say, workforce. You can treat your workers shitty, so to speak. But that's still a different thing than, let's say, child labor.
Yeah, it's really rough how you tackle a topic like that, and I really have to commend Frostpunk for implementing it, because the way I've seen it, they do a banging good job on making it clear how rough this can be as a decision. Like, I think it's even a very early decision you have to make. I haven't played the game yet, because it has a timer, and timers, like, my anxiety goes haywire when the timer is involved in it.
Oh, they're really good with that. Like, they made a lot of like experience with this war of mine. But the thing is, if you tackle topics like this, you see that their games are basically built around that idea. So the general core gameplay vision is, and core gameplay fantasy is, to play with hard decisions and make players feel uncomfortable with these kind of like decisions, but force them in a situation where they have to deal with that. So at this point, the moral aspect becomes priority. And that is good that it is like this, because if you want to tackle topics like this, you need to set the priority for that element so high. But in a game like Anno, it would easily become a game which is more about moral than actually about city building. And Anno should stay a feel-good game. Because it is something players expect from the series. You want to sit down, enjoy yourself, build a big city, get completely lost in the production chains and expanding. And if you have too much like moral decisions or even like moral gameplay elements attached to that, then you lose the identity of that core gameplay. Which is cool if you make a game like this, but then you need to keep in mind that you make a game specifically to tell this kind of like story and that players make specifically this kind of decisions.
Start with one little block. That's
I cannot tell much about the achievements right now, but
You reached a
we get the
new
question a lot.
milestone.
I think that when it comes to achievements, we want to wait a little bit close to launch before we announce something or let the players experience that on their own. But maybe I have a chat with our game designer Knichi tomorrow and ask about the state of achievements.
Game saved.
some giving me a hard time. And
Over the 6x6 housing blocks, you will later on see that that in later residential tiers, especially like in 4 and 5, houses again start to grow like together to one big building block. I agree that this will always be a 4x4 based system, but what, 4x4, 2x2? I'm getting tired. But you know what I mean. So you will have like proper housing blocks later on because houses grow together. But I think I talked with that about Dear Krieger with the 6x6 thingy, and at the end it was just more houses for questionable gain in gameplay. Like you have to design like an additional 6x6 house system on top of that. That is a good question, Alpha. So regarding the game save notification, maybe this is feedback you guys should share in the closed beta forum.
so this is actually a first for me. This is the first time I even see the Jornaleros.
Aye.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Unfurl the sail.
Yeah, I mean you can bet that there will be some classic Anno style achievements in the game.
Ah, that sounds interesting. You're right. Visitors have no public touring in my other city. That's a shame.
Oh, I'm always busy, Duck. A field don't tend itself.
I'm getting really tired, so I'll probably leave soon.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'll stick around. Probably. But, I mean,
Yeah, so
yesterday
by
I
the way, it's
played.
really great that you jumped in.
Ah, yeah, no worries. Yesterday I played until 1 a.m. Like, I really started the save game yesterday, and I'm really having the time of my life with it right now, as compared to the TTS, because the TTS just frustrated me a lot with the eternity of schnapps consumption.
I have to think what's best for us.
So, fish oil factory and station, these guys want.
Well,
Right.
if guys are interested, maybe when days or yesterday after my last meeting, I just move over to the streaming room and run the stream from there. Like, by the way, guys, this is something we want to do in near future. So, beside the classic game dev Anno cast streams, I want to do a few like official streams where I just answer questions from the community. So, playing the game, answering your questions, etc. More like a community Q&A format. If you guys are interested in stuff like this. Chance of more beta or open beta, maybe?
Yep. Maybe. Oh man, Anno 2205. What? You're calling it a day?
Call it a day.
Okay. Oh, crap,
Just
I
to
need
try.
to-
And tomorrow's a big day because then is when it really counts, when we invite a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people we invited start playing.
It's gonna be super fun, and I already have our game lead, Volty, on speed dial. So it's really going to like everything. But let's not sugarcoat it. For us, it will be fun, but also very stressful.
There is no dedicated server for multiplayer.
Game saved.
So yes, it is a peer-to-peer system, which is usually something players don't like, but there are really good reasons for that, and the system is very clever. So in short, the way Anno works, because there's so much things going on in the game logic. Like there's, let's say, 1000% more things going on in the game logic than in a classic action game, because you have this whole building routine. All the buildings are basically part of the game logic. They're not just backdrops, etc. The way it works that we don't have desyncs is that on every single computer in a multiplayer session, you simulate all the actions of the other computer. So there's an interesting system around that. And that is the main reason why we use a peer-to-peer system, because with the server you would send a lot of information to the server all the time, which would be incredibly high, the amount of information in a game like Anno. But we're gonna have a blog about that, where we explain that system in detail.
Seductive charts bury my desk.
But yeah, multiplayer is enabled, so you guys can, and I hope you do, play multiplayer tomorrow. I would love to see more than 10% playing. Like, I would love to see that feature growing.
Yep. Nice. Yeah.
Okay, guys. Wish you a good night. Enjoy Chris playing the game horribly. No, it's actually not that bad. No, it's not that bad.
You're banned.
And I see you tomorrow.
Good night, Busty.
And happy playing tomorrow, especially.
Yeah, happy playing tomorrow to everybody. It will be fun. It'll. So looking forward to tomorrow. And I'm also not
Take
having.
care, guys.
I'm also not having a mouth. Good night.
Nighty.
All right, so I'm all alone now. Now I can shit talk Busty. Could you believe this guy? No. Yeah. So absolutely, I want to see you guys play multiplayer. I want to see your amazing zoos. And if you have like a special project going where you're like, I want to recreate the zoo that I visited as a kid once, please share this with me, because I want to see it. I want to see it all. The darkest secret of Basti is what's below his cap. You would not believe it if I. It's something horrible.
To what?
Hold on, the fish oil. I should build actually the fish oil production I want to have, huh?
When I look into your people's faces, I see.
Okay,
trouble.
so these guys, they are
Make
getting
sure
they're
their
getting
misery
food,
doesn't
which is
become a problem.
good. I am going to take a quick break to turn on my heater because it's getting damn cold. So give me a minute. I'll let these guys. I'll show you how the farmers, the jornaleros. Give me a moment. I'll be back in a second.
You reached a new milestone.
And I'm back. Okay, bye Roscoe, thank you for being here. Ich hoffe ja tatsächlich, dass Volty dann morgen streamt, wie es geplant ist. Das wird schon ziemlich gut. Okay, so these guys definitely need a fire watch.
Oh, should have seen her face.
Anything I can... So they have the rum production here.
There's nowhere to take it.
Oh crap, this guy. Sorry!
Game saved.
Rum. They need rum. Yeah, I'm going to stream a little bit more and... until I'm hungry. I named it Las Palmas, and that's because as a kid I visited Las Palmas with my family. Okay. So we could do sail production here, but I don't really need sail production.
Ready to evacuate at a moment's notice.
So she's got nothing really interesting going.
Liberty, equality, and brotherhood.
Oh, hello, friend.
How thrilling! A renowned personage has arrived.
Unfurl the sail.
Nice. Ah, Rusty goes, I start coughing. An alpaca farm. Oh yes, I want me some of that. Okay, so first we're going to... definitely need a new warehouse. What did you think? Do I want to know? Oh, I shouldn't move this here, actually. Look at all these chickens. I reckon that Las Palmas is kind of a city name that gets used often in Spanish, in places the Spanish settled. I really was thinking of Las Palmas de Gran Canaria. Never been to Mallorca. Okay, can't build a police station.
Flowers for the lady.
So... air crane, harbor master, depot. Depot sounds good. I definitely want. Ah. Shuffle. You guys get ponchos now. That means you can Leos. Thank you much for the follow, Tiago. Okay. So they have a little chapel that's actually really adorable. I'm gonna build it here. So these guys have. Ah, okay. Fine. Here. Then we build nice plaza. Where's my ornaments? Oh, right. Oh, right. I forgot you can do this as well. I always forget this is an option. Yep. You go to bed because it's not long anymore. I'm probably going to give it another half hour, I'd say. Because I'm already feeling my belly ache. I actually don't have any ornament here. Okay. Okay, so the first ornaments are coming in. And I think we can get the rum production started. Because it's literal. We have so much workforce. Let's check. How is a sugarcane plantation looking? Whoops. Okay, so it just wants a really big. Where do we have space for it? Could build it. I mean, I just built the warehouse here, so yeah, let's move it. Just make one long. Just pull it up here. Down again. Wonderful. Base there to color this out. Beautiful. And then we basically go. Again. Well, going to bed early for school sounds like an idea. And yeah, Tiago, go to bed, get your PC fixed and sorted, and then get going to play the game. It's going. So that's
In another
something.
life, we might have been cronies.
Let's move these guys here. I love that kind of move buildings around. It's a really good. Perfect. This is good now. Okay, so sugarcane. Oh, that's a big building. Still have enough people.
My nietos are growing strong.
Let's get the first journalists.
You
No,
reach
operators.
a new milestone.
Age of Independence.
I've been so busy with the trust and so forth.
Oh, we need more engineers for that. And we can't have engineers. Build the town hall. Could build it here. It's probably... tortilla production chain, cattle farm. Okay, and a corn farm. Okay, we can make bricks. Kind of going over here because there's oil here. I don't think the oil production line. And we're full. Oh god, I need way more people.
No more work for now.
Yeah.
None of that
You all
petty
have a nice
laying down
evening.
of arms.
Have a good night. You
Call
take that
a
money.
storm. Why, it was nothing at all.
We are the future.
Setting up the there. Oh, missing. Yeah, that'll take a while. Have a good night.
Game saved.
Warehouse thing with camp building farm. Just don't want to expand too much south here because this is all space I need for the city. I need to expand here. So, new warehouse.
Once we're done here, we can bag some rabbits.
Working again. Oh god, production line count. Okay, so we need 2 of each of these for 1. There. And another. Working. Wanted to, alas. Ha! I can shove it. That's nice. And we can corn farm. That's it. Let's do this. Let's do it like that. Just make use of all that space.
No slacking.
Oh, that's so. For this, we need 100 jornaleros.
Once again,
I want to give that
I am
get that
indebted
going
to you.
first. So let's upgrade this
We
spot
will help you build something better.
Don't even.
and this and this. And now we have 100 that. Okay, something's missing. Wood.
There be potholes, so
Hey, Jones.
I
At least the
can't even
tortillas
dream
start
what is yet
producing.
to come.
Just need to wait until we have to. That's a bit of action here. Don't see any. I think this is a minor bug where just a lot of people stand on one particular spot. This can happen, but it's mostly cosmetic, so... And it doesn't happen over here, so...
For all seasons.
On.
Lunchtime so soon?
It doesn't, like, the thing is, it's not game breaking or anything. I'll see that I reported. Actually, like, I'm way more worried about stuff that breaks the game, like stuff that doesn't let you finish production chain. Actually, I need to check back the old world now. Oh. This guy.
Liberty, equality, and brotherhood.
Give me these mortars, man.
What's
this?
That's when I know I'm home.
Nice.
Ready for a challenge.
Okay, I'm sending my fleet world. I totally forgot that I sent these guys here. Yeah, please move to the new world.
I'm confident it's ready to go.
Oh, with the nudes, man.
At self-editing.
Non-aggression pack. Relationship brightens. Company settles in the tropics. Nice. You can send that out.
Really?
I love the editor. He's so cool.
Truths I can be proud of.
Okay, so this guy is moving over here. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh. I need... What? Down here. Nope, I can't plop you down. Here. This is... And a reminder that I'm not building it here.
Seductive charts bury my desk.
You guys are getting your tortillas. That's good. That also means new people set. What do we have here? New archaeological expedition.
More's the merrier.
I'm sending the Nipper out.
You're tying the knot. Never.
Naval power. So we need some cannon here. We need something to take care of hunting. Diplomacy. Volunteer fireman who has naval power. So, yeah, good. I'm just taking the volunteer fireman. I have nobody who's take some. really need
A good seaman is known in bad weather.
I need action. Coal helps with hunting for some reason. This is for the captain, so head off.
Aye.
No more or less popular than before.
Good. And I need more schnapps. I need more schnapps forever. I kind of neglect it. It's not like now it's not a problem in the as it was.
Up with a lark this morning, I was.
Yeah, that's. This is how I like it.
Saved.
This right here. Potato. Mash it, squash it, stew.
How about a cup of coffee? You've been playing for 2 hours.
Wow.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
Good ship.
Your
So,
ship
hopefully-
has returned from its voyage.
Hopefully that worked now.
To
So-
the edge of the world.
Okay, these guys are out.
A new commission. Treading paths never trodden.
On our way.
So
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
okay, so
Your ship has returned
Ah, there
from
they
its
come.
voyage.
so my ships are slowly coming in, but I must have lost the quest or something.
Your ship has returned from its
That's
voyage.
strange.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
However, I can now set up a new trade route for rum. Hold that. I'm doing this with a charter because I don't want the ship to for that.
New orders?
Rudder!
Okay. So I sent my war fleet
New orders?
here only to figure out that the ship I wanted to actually fight is not here anymore. So that's grand.
Attention for the Admiral.
And these guys repair themselves. Perfect. So, I want to get plate production. Need 200 obreros for it.
Subject to an inspection.
First move down here. I don't know the message for playing for 12 hours. Ah, look at this cool market. This is amazing.
Fetid, festering filth.
Stations.
Awaiting new horizons.
Flipper crawling over.
We cannot catch
Start
the
that
future
production, at
standing
least.
still.
Can get these guys going.
That blooming turnip was the size of her head.
Yeah, you notice that the voiceovers for the New World are better, because these guys have the same voices as the Old World farmers. Okay, so we got the balance going for this, which is good. And here's the charter ship that brings our rum. So much rum. No, it's gone. This ship will now travel.
Ship of the line reporting in. Attention for the Admiral.
Whew.
Good and ready.
Right.
Unfurl the sail.
Go over here and collect this.
A new commission? Aye.
You guys, you journey back. Bye.
More than ready.
Now we have a mortar. And a self. Cool. I think I can leave these guys alone for now because I have stuff to sort out back home. I also don't. Do we have? We have expeditions. So this one is going alright. There's a
It's not
pirate
raining
hunt going
unless it
on
makes
here.
your head bleed. I'll never get seasick.
We're sending our flagship out for this one. And there's another
Let's
archaeological
extend the old
expedition.
telescope.
So I don't want to send the prince again for this. Sea Eagle might
I'll never
be
get
a
seasick.
good idea for this. So for some reason navigation is already done somehow. So okay, no, we're not doing this.
Good and ready.
I should probably do
Flagship
this.
ready for orders.
Always check your expeditions tab. Okay, so most of our fleet goes home.
A land lush and green.
Why do I have another fortress? Why am I missing workers all of this?
Nice day for it.
It's not good. Oh no. You not. Oh, because I built so much stuff now. Oh crap! I need to provide more houses and stuff. Ooh. Always check your workforce. Let's see where they're going. Fire guard. Police station. Actually, we have one here. I have one. I have prepared this city good. Just for good measure, I should build a market. Can't do that without lumping some. Yeah, workforce is really, so I could expand. Should expand. Because this is really close to my city center, so it will become workers at some. And plop. So these should fill up and bring me the rest of the workforce. And I now have to check because I think I need to turn off selling shop
May we
for now.
see these shores again?
And oh god. Great. So we get sausages. Sausages are good. Soap is still good. How's our bread look? Bread good. Here could be better. I need to actually check because there was a
I need
bug.
something to blunt my rage
Great.
on.
This is still prohibited. Noise. These guys want the school actually, so provide. It needs steel beams, but we can't get them.
It's wise to be ready to move on, to take change in your
We assist
stride.
however we may.
Construction. Plop, plop. Plop, plop.
Adjust the sail.
Yeah, something is always missing. So now we're good again on the farmers, which is good. And look at how beautiful he's sprawling. I kept this free because I have no idea what I'm going to do. Push comes to shove, I'm building a park there, but at least the hospital has to go there.
I am bleary-eyed with bliss.
Admiral! Admiral!
Admiral! The mysterious artifacts. Discovery of several strange artifacts aboard spooks the crew. Tied to the rigging, bunks, boards, and even top the captain's desk. A warning, a threat, and who put them there? Since the nearby island is uninhabited, it is sensible only to think the perpetrator must be aboard. The crew must know, have seen something at last night. So we can't ask the crew who did this. I'm going to ask them. We have this notition. Your crew are beginning to bond. Someone comes forward, not having expected to cause such a bother. Therefore, me old mum, he sighs. Birds. That one's a little Robin. Made him together when she was ill. Now she's gone, The others are quick to put an arm around his shoulder. They're all in this together. Okay. So, nothing really happened. It's fine. It's just our people trying to be nice to a friend. Which is cool. Which is really cool. I appreciate that. Oh, look at that. Really like that. Okay. Start. But now I need to get my schnapps back. Okay, schnapps is increasing. But great. Oh, like, holy crap. I still need more, do more with my sheep.
Metals has changed things, I'll grant you. But for better or for worse.
Well, this. Oh crap! We have money.
Ready for assignment.
Let's build.
Someone once told me they didn't like my work.
Yeah.
I threw myself in a nether patch.
Okay. These guys now have schools. That means more people will move in. Which is good. Still need to plop down.
Stations.
Or
Coordinates plotted.
My fleet is slowly coming back. Takes more than 5 minutes. However, I'm gonna cut it short now. Let's put the camera over here. So the zoo is in view.
A fire broke out.
Thanks. And
Your ship
yeah,
has returned
thank
to
you
the
everybody for
port.
being here for this impromptu stream that really, it wasn't planned. Like,
Screenshot taken.
yeah. Thank you everybody for being here. Thanks for all the follows. Thanks for all the kind words. I want to pick up streaming again after over the New Year's break. I kind of let it slide a little bit because a few things came up. But I want to stream again because it's a lot of fun.
Saved.
Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! Mobilize the fire brigade. But yeah, going to stream again, so it's gonna be fun. I have no plans for it. Anyway, have a grand night, everybody. Thank you for being here, and enjoy Anno in, well, less than 10 hours. Bye.